Many people love to eat bread, but for some, it is just another food. Whichever category you belong to, one thing that is sure is that you care about what you eat. This story is not entirely about bread. It is about Nigerians and the struggle to put food on the table. It is about resilience and the unyielding fight for their daily bread.
Mr. Muritala Latif Ajagbe is my name. So mo le jẹ́ ẹni tó mọ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ bread. Mo ti tó 30 years now. Tí mo ti wà long stage pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ bread yẹn.
Hello, you're welcome to Food Locker's demonstration farm. Come on over. The guys are actually here to welcome you. Come on over. So you're welcome to Food Locker's demonstration farm. So I grew up on a large piece of land where both my parents had farming activities. My mom had poultry going on, and my dad was super heavy on crop production. So everything from vegetables to trees, pawpaws, etc. We had a large piece of land where we could do that. And my dad was even more entrepreneurial. He would also lease pieces of land and use them for agriculture. So I grew up in that kind of environment. It's an environment that honors the dignity of labor. It honors and expects that you deliver something. So Food Locker, we started 2018. Starting it up was, I would say, pretty easy now. Maybe it was hard then, but I would say it was pretty easy. The consumer spending power was there. The market was ready for some kind of disruption in terms of some players that could come in and provide the end-to-end. So which was demand to supply. You could actually, provide a solution that works for everybody.
Gbogbo bàtà bẹ̀rẹ̀ bread yẹn, so a little change la fi bẹ̀rẹ̀. So I can wà bẹ́ẹ̀ thousands bí mélòó kan. So I dey rent bakery. So tí mi ò bá ní ṣì gan bóyá bí June yẹn gan mo kọ́kọ́ ra Lister engine. That one is 9,000 naira, brand new one, Lister engine. Now it is almost 700,000, 800,000. So which is difference mo rí pé ń wà níbẹ̀ ni. So mo kọ́ bakery náà dẹ̀ tún wà. Èèyàn rent ẹ̀ gbà yẹn, èèyàn lò ó téèyàn náà fi gádà owó jọ. Kàkọ́dún kan tó pé owó first rate tí mo san, èmi gangan ti ní bakery. Mo ti ní bakery fún ara mi. So ká tó rọ́dún méjì mẹ́ta bakery ti di 2, ó ti di 3.
Many years ago, Nigerians didn't have problems feeding well because the country produced more than enough and food was sufficient. We produced so much that food items were cheap and we exported in large quantities. In fact, we were the world's top producer of groundnuts and second top producer of cocoa. That's not to mention palm oil, rubber, and several other cash crops. As a nation known for its agrarian prowess at a time, what changed? What happened to Nigeria's agricultural sector?
I think that the discovery of oil gave Nigerians the illusion that you could actually leverage very cheap cash and cheaply available cash to build an economy. So most people were more interested in what you could extract from the ground rather than what you could produce. So essentially the country moved from a mindset of production and development and growth and moved to an extractive mindset. So most states in Nigeria became reliant on this sharing of resources from the center. So federal allocation, everybody just wanted a piece of the pie without actually baking any extra pie.
We've had this perception because we've produced certain crops, not only at the African level, but at the global level. One of the top 2 producers of this, one of the top 2 producers of the world. If you look at it from food security perspective, we can have scarcity in the midst of abundance. and that's what has happened over the course of time. Historically, there's always been food, always been production and whatnot. But if we look at it in the context of food security, I believe that Nigeria has never been food secured. It's something that we've not really treated. We've so focused on the agricultural sector that we produce. Agricultural production is not food security.
Over the years, Nigeria has developed notable agricultural policies to curb its declining agricultural productivity since it discovered oil. But despite these interventions, there haven't been significant changes. And with many people unable to afford to feed well because of rising food inflation, Nigeria's food security is in a critical state. Despite declaring a state of emergency on food security in 2023, the prices of food items have continued to rise, with food inflation reaching as high as 40.66% in May 2024.
First is that there's no such thing as a state of emergency for the food sector in Nigeria. That's just politicians doing what politicians do. Right? What we can do as Nigerians. Number one, we have to vote in our own interest. If you want to feed better, you need to vote in politicians who are aligned with your interest of feeding better. You cannot keep voting oligarchs and expect that they will empathize with your inability to afford bread and butter. They don't care about bread and butter for you.
Èròǹgbà náà ni kọ́lọ́n kó dá ìgbà yẹn padà sí bí bó ti wà dáradára tẹ́lẹ̀, bó ti wà tó tí mo gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì náà lè alẹ́ pé a tún appeal sí pé àwa kọ́ là ń ṣe flour fúnra wa tiwa ní ká débẹ̀ ká rà á. So àwọn nǹkan yẹn náà ni mo lè sọ pé tó bá wálẹ̀ inú bakers á dùn so á dùn gidi gan.
Many farmers are unable to visit their farmlands for fear of attacks. But besides the security crisis, some restrictive trade policies like land border closures, import restrictions, and high tariffs have added to the high cost of doing business in the food sector, thereby increasing cost of production, labor, and logistics, making it difficult for ordinary Nigerians to feed their families.
Ẹ̀yin náà wo bí economy ṣe rí sí ó ti bad jù. Flour yẹn ohun tó jẹ́ pé sugar níjọ́ táwa ń ṣe bread a gbọ́ rí wípé sugar ọ̀wọ́n ju flour lọ. Rárá o. Tá bá ra flour ní lexi 4,000. Tá bá ra flour 4,000, ara sugar bí 2,300. So sugar wà lọ́ndà flour ni. But nsìn sugar ti wá ju flour lọ. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ó dá lórí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wa. Tí wọ́n bá mi ò mọ bí wọ́n ṣe ṣe tó fi yíwọ́ bí ilé. Bó làwọn tí wọ́n ṣe bọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ tí ò fi yíwọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ wá yíwọ́ tán tó fi di pé flour di 67,000 a bag of flour.
If it's not easy for you to do business, then sectors that are high risk like agriculture would suffer the consequences the most.
Tax tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì gbà lórí kíní yẹn àtẹ̀túwò time kan tẹ́ pé association tó lọ appeal sí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì pé tán bá yọrù tariff yẹn kúrò gbogbo tẹ́nu ń jẹ tí wọ́n ń kó wọlé irú wheat yẹn tí wọ́n ní wọ́n gba custom duty kankan lórí ẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé ìyẹn náà yóò tún kankan tún torí gbàtà ṣígbà yẹn ó dà pé lórí a bag of flour gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wa ń realize 10,000 naira. So tá bá yọ 10,000 kúrò ní 65 tí wọ́n tà sí ṣe pé definitely àmọ́ ra bóyá bíi 55 tó ní oúnjẹ ni kó lè rọ gbogbo ayé lọ́rùn bọ̀ síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ kò sí changes.
An adage in Yoruba says, tí ebi bá ti kúrò nínú ìṣẹ́, ìṣẹ́ bùṣe. That means once hunger is conquered, poverty is alleviated. Of the truth, a poorly fed people cannot provide the needed labor to move a nation forward. And if we are serious about ensuring that food is available, accessible, and affordable to ordinary Nigerians, we must address the fundamental issues.
The reality is that the land ownership system in Nigeria is one of the biggest impediments to agriculture in the country. Our experience is we have people who have money, we have money, we want to buy land, but you're just not sure that the person you're paying to really owns that land. And then you have to run surveys, you have to pay people to run the surveys and to actually validate that the land they are giving you is the area that they are saying that land is. Then you have issues with building permits. You want to build maybe a warehouse or a factory on the land. The permit process is also opaque. It's also difficult, it's also challenging.
There's been a lot of money pumped into the agricultural sector, both at the federal level and state level, and the outcome of it is not equating the amount of money in it. But this, I must say, we need to close the gap on education of farmers. There's number one. If the farmers do not understand the value of the product, that's where there's no incentive for them to continue to produce. So from my perspective and from what being on the ground and from all of the work we've done, we have to include the farmers in the value chain. Once they understand the value of their product, they'll be able to go day in, day out for it. And I mean, we can talk about fertilizer allocation, we can talk about land acquisition and land allocation. All these areas, they are all part of the agricultural domains that really, is affecting food production.
Agriculture is risky, and therefore access to cheap credit facilitates or supports you, helps you to then be able to deliver or to take the risk. As if you have access to 5% credit, 6% credit, then you can take more risk.
In the words of Gunnar Myrdal, the Swedish economist and Nobel laureate, the battle for long-term economic growth is either won or lost in the agricultural sector. Nigerians deserve to have access to sufficient and quality food. Nigeria needs to end the hunger crisis now.